And we're back, like some sort of hero of comics, talking about stuff. Well, Steven Universe, certain character Steven Universe named Stevonnie. Yes, she's very cute and very awesome. I'm calling her a she because she looks like a she. Okay. Basically, yeah, that, you'll understand why there's controversy for this with this character after I explain where she comes from. Anyway, like that. But basically, when I first saw this character, I thought she was just a fan made character, gender swap or daughter of Steven and Connie in the way she is related. But yeah, I found out later so she is canon and she is actually a fusion of Steven and Connie. They actually, Steven has the ability is half gem, so he has the ability to fuse. It turned out he could fuse with fuse with humans, fuse with Connie, and they became Stevonnie. So it's very interesting. Stevonnie. They did it again later. In the first episode was alone together, I think it was. But yeah, later they did it again for her in front of the dad. And he's like, what? And basically a very interesting conversation because he takes place. It'd be very interesting for him to say, like my son has become a beautiful young woman. Man, that's a difficult, strange thing to say because it's kind of weird that way. But no, still, this is very interesting. This character, this episode had a lot of had things going on a lot of different levels here. Because basically, the basic level of Steven and Connie becoming something, you know, great, really new and different and interesting. Uh, and it was also interesting how the creator of the series, Rebecca Sugar, made loosely based Steven off of her younger brother, and now you have this character Stevonnie who looks like Steven's older sister. That's an interesting thing. But anyway, even if if it is allegorical that way, that's interesting. Well, still. It's still fun, but still, let's see here. Okay, basically we have Stevonnie. Um, oh yeah. Basically, before I continue, I better talk about what fusion is. For those who don't know, fusion is the gem's ability that are heroes called gems because of the gems placed in their bodies that are on different parts of their bodies. Uh, they have this ability to fuse into more powerful creature, just like Dragon Ball Z, when they do the fusion dance. But yeah, of course, as I said before, uh, the gems fusion dances blow the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance out the water, at least in my opinion, because it's much more music video style, and it's awesome. I'm a huge fan of it. I'm a huge fan of that. They can be mature for a kid's show, but to me, it's still kind of interesting to see how they did that. But still, anyway, yeah, it's gonna be great. Anyway, basically, what happens is you see the episode begins with Steven being taught how fusion dancing works. Um, you see Garnet and Pearl dance. You see Garnet and Pearl dancing, doing some sort of samba or something like some type of not samba, but some type of waltz or whatever. It's kind of interesting that way. But then it's like you got Mammoth is teaching him the Macarena, sort of, and Garnet teaching him some very hip hop music video style dances and stuff, and it's pretty really interesting that way, pretty crazy that way. And then you see Pearl trying to teach him ballet, but he's still trying to figure that out. So it was just kind of fun, just a little dance montage there. So he's been basically dancing all day. So then after he finishes, after they're done teaching him how to dance for the day, he he goes and hangs out with Connie, and he just wants to dance with her because she's his friend. So she says, well, I never really danced before because I tried to dance and you know I tried to do a dance, to go to a dance, school dance, and I was just so nervous. I couldn't, just too scared to go. I didn't want to go. I was thinking of all the people staring at me and stuff like that. It's crazy stuff. So she's like, okay, so she didn't go. And so he's like, well, no, don't worry, it's just us here. We can dance. Come on. So she's like, eventually gets into it, and they start dancing, having fun. And then Steven trips. So Connie catches him, grabs. So Connie catches him. Well, and that closeness of her catching him activates Steven's gem, and they fuse into Stevonnie, and it's like Okay, this right here just takes the show to that right there takes is basically like takes the show to a higher level because now it's like they're something else now. They're someone else now. It's pretty crazy that way. And then it's like she tells everybody Pearl and Amethyst are surprised. Garnet is super happy as for reasons you'll see when I get to the jailbreak episode, which I'll get to eventually because I'll definitely get to as soon as I can because I tried to get this out like a few days ago and things didn't work out right. So this is a little bit behind, but I'm getting to the jailbreak episode. I'll hook that up real nice. Talk about the things I like about that, the things I have a bit of issues with. Well, that's for another review. But right now Garnet's very happy, and she says, Steven, no, Stevonnie, you are not one person. You're not two people. You are an experience. So make sure you're a good one. Make sure you're a good one. Now go have fun. And it's like you see her smile, and I'm like, okay, wow. And this will be, this is like earlier when she did smile so much. So I was like, oh my gosh, whoa, it's cool. Let's go. Anyway, she runs around and basically I'm thinking she has like Captain America or Wonder Woman or sort of She-Hulk strength and stuff because she basically is. I don't, well, maybe not, but no, She-Hulk, but still strong enough to more stronger, more resilient than a normal person. Definitely. So more resilient, have more stamina than a normal person because she's able to just run around and just play and jump off of cliffs and just be fine. It's crazy. It's fun stuff, crazy stuff. But it's really cool to see. Then she eventually ends up at the donut shop with Lars and where Lars and Sadie are hanging out, and asks for 2 donuts. Lars is instantly smitten and just grabs a bag and just like, hey, yeah, just throws on a bag of just what he doesn't know what it is. He just throws it back down. He's just staring at the awesome looking Stevonnie. And then she reads, Stevonnie gets money out of her pants pocket and says, asks how much she owes them. But then Sadie, looking a little bit flushed herself, was like, no, it's on the house. It's free. Go ahead. I was like, okay, wow. Guess that's one of her powers to be super cute. To be super cute. Oh my goodness, just to get everybody. Just yeah. Anyway, so she's like after saying, that that's nice, but not necessarily a good business practice. She goes and sits down and is about to enjoy these donuts, but then she realizes, she has 2 donuts and there's only one person. So that's a drawback of fusion. You're one person. This is kind of a sci-fi type thing right here. She's realizing, wait a minute, this is different. This is strange. I could have some stuff, allegorical stuff in real life, but definitely seems more sci-fi at this point. But then things get really allegorical because the sour cream comes up to her and he gives her a little flyer for this rave he's DJing, at this warehouse, and wants her to come, has invited her to come. Um, and so she's like, okay, cool. She goes to the rave, you know, and is having a great time. Sour Cream, he's a cool guy. He's hanging out. I actually really do like him and his voice, and voice actor. But he's so great. And he's all cool, hanging out, playing, doing his thing. But she's dancing and having a fun time. But then she starts seeing, seeing everybody staring at her. Because she's so, probably because she's so amazing to look at. But she's wondering, like, she's like, this is a party, this is all, or why a dance party? Are we dancing? So she's feeling kind of alone here, and so she's starting the fear, Connie's fear of, being stared at by everybody is getting the best of her. So she decides to leave. Right. But this little dude named Kevin starts trying to, ask her to come back to the dance floor and dance with him, and it's like, who the heck is Kevin? Basically, who the heck? He's like, hey girl, come on. At the dance floor, it's Kevin time. I'm like, who the heck is Kevin? And it's like, this is some weird stuff. I'm not a fan of you, Kevin. I'm not a fan of you. I'm also like, no, Kevin, don't. She's underage. Her dads will kill you. It's just like a lot of different things going on there. Like, just no, no, no. No, Kevin, back off, Kevin, back off. So then he pesters her so much. He was like, come on, baby, come on. He's like, all right, I'll dance with you. I'm not your baby. I'm like, okay, that's real life right there. I'm not your baby, or don't call me baby. So I like the song. So cool. But anyway, she's like, I'm not your baby. Let's go dance. So I'm like, oh, so they go dance. She starts dancing angrily, and he's like, just to take him off. He's like, ah, girl, hold it down, just pull it back, girl. But she doesn't care. She just keeps dancing, and that basically messes up the fusion, and they split back into Steven and Connie. Kevin is understandably uh reluctant to continue the relationship because pursuing Stevonnie, and he decides to leave. Decides to leave, and I don't know if anyone else saw that. I think they did see it. I don't know. This is weird. I mean, like, if that had happened and people had seen that, then maybe they've been like, wow, what happened to you guys? What really, where's that cute girl? Where, do you know her? Did she, was that a trick? You were like sitting on top of each other's shoulders? What the heck? Do we drink something we shouldn't drink, or drink or eat or swallow something we shouldn't have? Who knows? Who knows? A lot of weird stuff with that, but still, it's like, but then there's basically when the kids realize they are back to being kids. Back to being themselves and not Stevonnie. They just start running around and playing and having fun and it's pure joy and stuff. And then they focus on that for a little bit, and then they go to they leave, they go to the credits or something. And did they just do a youth and age theme? Did they just have uh the basically uh young basically the feelings of a young person uh having to do something way more grown up than they're used to doing, like a school dance or something like that. Where so they have to be there's a lot more pressure on them to be more grown up, and there's different things that can happen to them, and that can be good or that can be bad. But then after that, they're back to being kids again. So there's time for them to be kids. So they don't have to be adults yet. So they're like, whoa, that was nice, but I can wait a few years to do that again. Something like that. Did they just do that in this episode of a cartoon, of a kids show, supposedly a cartoon show? Yes, they did. I'm like, whoa! I just takes it up so many notches for me. And yeah, canon wise, yes, and yes, canon wise, all that happened was, you now know that Steven becoming confused with Connie. You're gonna become Stevonnie. That's basically all that happened. But as its own thing. It's just an episode about again youth and age and all kinds of awesome awesome benefits and crazy drawbacks of getting older. It's a lot of cool stuff. Just a lot of cool stuff in there. I like seeing stuff like that in shows like that. It's just in cartoons especially. It's just so great. It's just so wonderful. I look forward to seeing more like that. There are more things coming up soon. It's gonna be super great. At least for the most part, it's gonna be super great. No, I'm talking about the hand monster that comes up later. You could have done without that thing. But yeah, other than that, everything else is fantastic. Yeah. Anyway, though, so again, but we're doing a best and worst type thing. The best thing about this episode, Alone Together, Stevonnie and her journey to basically getting a taste of sort of adulthood ish, sort of adulthood, having to deal with all that more grown up stuff and different things. It's pretty cool and amazing, wonderful. The real life allegorical stuff in there. This is so great. The worst would have to be it's well, yeah, no, not much worse. I'm not saying there's not much worse here, other than maybe that it's just yeah, again the connotation of fusing, the connotation of fusing, becoming one, with some children. But still, no, sci-fi stuff. It's sci-fi stuff, sci-fi stuff. So let's stick with that. Let's stick with that. Okay, so check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt, and especially my Superman stuff. Oh man, we're really getting into it now. We're about to have our biggest fight. I'm about to draw the biggest fight in the whole movie, whole game, not game, the whole movie. Well, it was in in the real actual Superman 3. This was the biggest fight. Superman versus his darker self. It's going to be awesome and amazing, wonderful. But of course, I'm going to take a little page from Spider-Man 3 of all films and have it be live on being recorded live on the news. You know, because hello, this is like the coolest thing ever. You know, Superman is gonna fight his evil, an evil doppelganger and stuff. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So yeah, look that up on YouTube. It is more stuff like this, and of course Wario. I can do Wario again. I'm gonna as soon as I can. I'll get another uh, episode of that in there. Eventually, now that I have Hypercam working, I can try to do some other stuff like Mugen. Well, I'm gonna get my Mugen stuff going too, but I can get stuff like Blessed. What is it? What is it? Oh yeah. You know, I gotta get a Steam. I got had Steam. Then I rolled back from Windows 10 because Windows 10 was slowing this computer down a lot. So I'm gonna get Steam again, and then we'll see what we can do with that. You know, and several other things. So see you next time. Check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt and stuff. And the next episode of Steven Universe, best and worst reviews, whatever they are.